Hi, hello, namaste, hearty welcome to yet another interesting class. And we are doing the BTRs, business tax returns. And it's very important, like when we are learning the tax return preparation, because I have not only, my EA students or EA qualified people with me, but I also have CPAs, CAs, and some attorneys also attending these classes because they want to learn the tax return preparation. Very good, very nice. Okay, now why are we learning all these taxes and all? Sir, what is that? I mean, we are here to learn how to prepare business tax returns. Yes, absolutely fine, you're absolutely right. We are here to learn the business tax returns, how to form business entities, and all these things. Yeah, now see, all these things we are doing so that we can serve the client, right? And when you serve the client, there's an exchange. As he exchanges information with you, you give him that service, right? Money flows, right? Money flows, or wealth also starts building, because you get to connect with new people, different people, and many things happen. Okay, so I'm sure most of you are aware of this great man, not me, Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, one of my very favorite books, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and very famous book. Okay, now keeping aside all the morality and things like that, he here talks about being rich. Now, by saying that, he is not saying you must be immoral and all. Okay, but this book is more practical, and it also kind of scores out some of the conventional or traditional thought patterns that have been deeply embedded into our mind, soul and all, by our elders, our teachers, or our own family members. Okay, so these are some six top learnings that I picked from this book. I would definitely encourage you to, as we have studied in EA also, before the start of class, I make it a habit to share something good, so that it drives you. And it also beyond this, the regular bookish concepts, I want you to know the real life. Because our life begins after you qualify. Once you start serving, that's when you truly enjoy the practice and all. Now, here are top six learnings that I picked from this book. Okay, so I'm not going deep into rich dad, poor dad and all. I'm not going into that, but these six learnings that Robert Kiyosaki has told in his book, I very much recommend it. Okay, now this is what I have put across. Okay, the first one is, rich people don't work for money, they make money work for them. Okay, they don't work for money, they make money work for them. When we were doing our EA classes also, we did one of the books called Start With Why, if you remember, right? So there, that Simon Sinek book, there the author says, when, so treat your money like petrol, and let's say your company is like car. Now you cannot keep petrol in the car and say that you are saving petrol, right? A car is not meant to store petrol. Right? A car should use the petrol or diesel or gas and then go to the desired destination. That's why the gas is meant for. Now similarly, when there is money with any person or a business, what Mr. Kiyosaki says is, I mean, what Mr. Simon Sinek says, that it should take the person to go to the next level. You must learn to invest money. I mean, but we have been taught, like save money, don't spend much and all. But what the authors, like Robert Kiyosaki and Simon Sinek says, learn to invest money so that you can produce money, you can invent money, You can multiply money. That is what they say. And that's something, very, very important, um, in the real world. And unfortunately, many of us are not taught these things. And I feel, it is the responsibility of a teacher next to parents to teach these financial education to the students or the kids, right? So that's why, you see here in the book, it says, what the rich teach their kids about money that the poor and middle class do not. Are you rich? Are you rich? You are rich. Richness does not come just by money alone. Now, this can be, a filmy dialogue also. Yeah, but it begins with the mindset. Seriously, this begins with the mindset. We have been reading, so many books in here also, the secrets of millionaire mind, the think and grow rich, the science behind getting rich. So many books we have been talking about, on the money aspect of it, because I want you to be rich. Kill poverty from the roots. Kill it. That's your biggest enemy. Kill that poverty. I have students from 18 to 82 years. So different people, I get to talk to different people, different kind of students, and some come from very poor backgrounds, but they just rock. They just rock. I came from a very lower middle class family, shortlisted for the Indian Army, but I could not go there because of my mom and my younger brother. But God has given me, this little army of US taxation, accounting, payroll, and all. These little, training programs are creating and producing, so many employment opportunities and entrepreneurial opportunities, So I'm thankful to God and to you also. Okay. Now here, the first point, that I wanted to say is rich people don't work for money; they make money work for them. So just like how we have put that petrol into car, that gas into car, so that it can take us to the desired destination. Similarly, the money that is there with us also should take us to the desired destination. Even whether you are an employee also, you must invest. I keep telling this always, you must invest at least 10% of your money into becoming a better person. I mean, learning your upgrading yourself in your field. This applies to anybody. Or taking care of your health, being in good condition, whatever you want to do. So make money work for you. Don't work for money alone. Okay, that's the first thing. Next one, make money for yourself and not your boss or your company. Now, this appears to be, very, very selfish, uh, because, given some experiences, most of the employers, they treat employee like a login. Okay, login. So once this employee is gone, somebody else, comes and does that. Yeah, the capitalist mindset. Yeah, maybe that is right from a business perspective, because they say in business there's no emotion, and all that. But I kind of beg to differ from that, because every entrepreneur is born out of an emotion. They say, you see, entrepreneur revenge story, entrepreneur revenge success story. you know Ratan Tata sir, many people, okay, Lamborghini. There is some emotion somebody stirred up in a wrong way, and then an entrepreneur was born. Okay, now the point that I am trying to say is, work with an emotion to first take care of your people. Okay, when I say your people, it is your family first, you first, pay yourself first. We studied about that also. First is you. Grow so much in life that you answer every that person who mocked you, your parents, your family, who ill-treated you. Show them who you are by becoming rich, because they feel having more money is what success in the society. So show to those fools that you are successful by making more money. Okay. Now, I always believe in productivity linked payment plan. If boss is telling you, I'll give you 1 lakh rupees per month, or $100,000 per year, that may get you excited. But what is the work that you have to do? What if you did more than what boss asked you to do? So that should always be in your mind. So always have that productivity linked payment plan mentality. Are you getting it? Productivity linked payment plan. You can have a fixed component, a minimal fixed component, to take care of your needs, but have more of variable component. What if I did more? And work towards it. See, after 40 or 50, God's grace, yeah, you may be all ill and healthy, to work 12 plus hours also, but mostly it's not that much possible, as you can do between 20 to 40. Between 40 to 50, working for 12 hours continuously, it becomes difficult. You should enjoy your work also, but when you're under 40, take that load and work towards it. And if you are a practitioner or an entrepreneur, business is yours. It all depends on you, how you schedule your day to day, daily routine and all. Okay, that's the second one. So make money for yourself and not for your boss, or your company. Like, we see so many quotes of Abdul Kalam also, love your work, not your company, right? Well, there are many great bosses, many great leaders and all. What the author is trying to say here is, not be selfish, dislike your boss and all. Because unless you carry the vision of the leader and work towards that, you cannot produce money for company also, right? A company will pay you only when the company is making money through your services, right? So, but the author is trying to say, work in a way wherein your focus is on yourself. You pay yourself first. Okay, that's the second point. So, my personal suggestion would be always have a performance linked payment plan. Boss is paying you 1 lakh rupees and he says, 10 lakh is your target per month, something like that. Sir, what if I did 15 lakhs? What if I did 20 lakhs? Will I get anything extra that month? No, we will give you annual appraisal 8%, 10%. I am not that guy. I don't want appraisal at all. I don't want appraisal at all. If I did 10, 20 lakhs, will I get extra 1 lakh that month? That will be my question. So it means what? In a single month, I would have earned, like 10 months ka hike. If boss gave me 10% hike, 10 months ka hike, I would have got that. And if he gave me only 8% hike, it means, a 12 months ka, hike, I have got it just with 1 month of performance. That's how I have grown. And I would encourage you also to be like that. If this contradicts, your company policies, I regret your choices of working for such people. And I don't mean to disrespect the company also, because it's a big company, so they cannot change policies for you. But if this invokes, a new revelation in the leaders who are watching this and training their team members also accordingly, I would encourage you, to challenge your team to have a performance linked payment plan. And the people who work under this, I tell you, they are rock stars. They are not those, seat warmers, who sit and wait for the monthly salary, just log in, log out. They are not those kind of people. They give their blood, sweat, and spirit for the company. Don't lose such people. Okay. Next, third one, educate yourself on financial management. It's very important, to know how the accounting works, bookkeeping, accounting, how the finances work, where to invest, and things like that. Financial management is very, very important. And it goes with the fourth one also, understand how tax laws work, taxes, how the taxes work. It's very, very important to understand, how these taxes work. Do that. I'm glad, that you're studying these enrolled agent, course and all, because you will be learning taxes at a different level, in depth, and you have to benefit the client accordingly. Next one, invest in real estate, stocks and all. You will claim depreciation. You will have that, rent, repairs, whatever you can, claim. We have studied in Schedule E and all, when we were doing theory. I encourage you to take these RTP classes only after you have done your EA Part 2 theory classes. Okay, even RTP Part 1, when you are taking, do it after you have completed EA Part 1 theory classes. Okay, if you have passed, great. Or at least if you have completed theory, then come and watch this so that you will be able to understand the terms that I'm using, in the classes also. Okay, so invest in real estates, okay, land, buildings, and things like that. Then stocks, so that your return is more. Okay, and then finally, once again, a reiteration of the earlier points: work to learn. Okay, by saying that, become an entrepreneur, that this and all, can you become an entrepreneur, on day one? I mean, even if it is, Ambani's son, he would first put him into, factory, into workplace to work. Yeah, people may know that he is boss son, but a good boss, a good father, will make him begin from scratch. Are you getting it? So work with an intent to learn, and don't work to, earn money alone. I hate people, when only money is their focus. I mean, I hate to work with such people. The focus must be on growth. Okay, currently, your sales is $100,000. Okay, how can I make it $200,000? Okay, what is it that you are willing to pay? Let's work towards it. And in case, I don't meet that, let's part our ways, in 90 days. And it's a gentleman's, agreement. It'll not a burden to the company, not a burden to you. If I did more, this is how it has to be. So nothing wrong in that. It has to be a mutual win-win. Okay. So just to quickly reiterate, these 6 points. Okay. Rich people don't work for money. They make the money work for them. That's point number 1. Then 2, make money for yourself, not your company or your boss. Excel in your work. Getting it? Third, educate yourself on financial management, how the accounting terms work, and that, this, and all. Then understand how tax laws work, because they may say, 1 lakh salary or something like that, but what do you get in hand? Even if you are making, $100,000 a year in your business, how much money goes into taxes, right? Again, income tax, payroll tax, so many taxes are there. So understand how the taxes work. Then fifth one, invest in real estates, and then good stocks. If you have knowledge in stocks only, then go for it, or else don't, burn your hands on that. Gold, the coins or those bars, they're all good investment. Then work to learn, and don't work only to earn. Very, very important. Okay, reflect on these things, and I'll see you soon in the class. Okay, welcome back. Looks like it was streamed public, unfortunately. Okay, that's fine. Good. Good that people get to know about us. Yeah, fine. So now we are on the BTR classes, okay? And today, in the last class, I think we uh, did in day one, EIN, right? We did EIN application. How do business formation organizers look like if you're forming a new business, or preparing a business tax return? Business formation or business tax organizers, how do they look like? Whether it's for LLC, partnership, S corp, C corp, right? So we have seen for different entities, how it will look like. Yeah. And then formation of business entities, right? Today we are going to learn about formation of business entities. Chalo. Now before we get into this, we got to understand the difference between different types of entities, right? So we have seen single member LLC, multiple member LLC. The theoretical part, I'm not going much deep into it. By default, an LLC is a disregarded entity. If the single member in the LLC is an individual, then the LLC will be taxed as sole proprietorship, like independent contractor types. Next, now independent contractor, there is no LLC. The business is not formed, right? But if there is only a single member and then LLC is formed, then such LLC will be treated just like a sole proprietorship. Next, if the single member in the LLC is the business entity, then the LLC will be taxed as a C corp or S corp. Now the LLC must file Form 8832, right? Entity classification election to be taxed as C corporation. And if it wants to be treated as a S corporation, it must file Form 2553. All these things, we have studied in the EA. Next, by default, a multiple member LLC. In case the LLC has multiple members, then it is definitely a partnership. And when treated as partnership, the entity will file Form 1065, and the partners will get Schedule K1, which flows into their personal tax returns through Schedule E. Even a multiple member LLC can be treated as C corp and S corp, right? Even a multiple, just like how a single member LLC can make an election and become a C corp by filing 8832, or become an S corp by filing 2553, right? Subject assuming all other conditions are satisfied. Similarly, even a multiple member LLC can also qualify for this. Okay, next one. The profit of a C corporation. Okay, so these are first two are like single member LLC and multiple member LLC. Okay. Now, the next one is C corporation and S corporation. Now, what is this? Okay. The profit of a C corporation is taxed to the corporation when it is earned and to the shareholders when it's distributed as dividends, right? You are aware of this. That's why it is double taxation and all. Yeah, we talk about all that. Next, a C corp can have any number of shareholders and any number of class of stocks, and shareholders can be foreign as well. The shareholders cannot deduct any loss of the corporation. They have got nothing to do with that. They only get dividends, right? A C corporation tax return is filed on Form 1120, right? US corporation income tax return, and it is subject to double taxation at corporation level and then shareholder level. This piece is information. Right? It looks like a revision, no, of EA Part 2 class. Yeah, I'm coming there. Now, S corporation. It is a domestic corporation elected to be treated as an S corporation to avoid double taxation in C corporation. Now, an S corporation must have 100 or fewer shareholders. This also we have studied. Must be a domestic corporation and can have only one class of stock. We studied this. And generally, an S corporation is exempt from federal income tax, but not a tax on capital gains and then passive income. We studied about the built-in gains tax and things like that. Next. Because there are certain incomes on which the S corporation has to pay tax, right? There are those exceptions that we study. Next, an S corporation return is filed on Form 1120S. What is that? On 1120S. In order to be treated as an S corporation, there are certain tests that needs to be satisfied. A domestic corporation can be treated as an S corporation by making an election to be treated as small business corporation by filing Form 2553. We have seen all these things, right? Next, it is a pass-through entity and the tax burden is passed on to the shareholders of the S corporation. It's a pass-through entity, right? Next. So far clear? Okay, we have just taken, 4 business entities, because only these 4 returns only we are learning in the business tax return preparation, of course, along with 5471 and then 5472. Okay, so let's focus nicely. Okay, single member LLC, right? Schedule C's, okay, and then into 1040, then multiple member LLCs 1065, then comes C corporation 1120, S corporation 1120. Yes, right? So far clear? Good. Next. Now, how to register an LLC? See, anytime you are registering or forming, an LLC or any company, the first thing that you have to keep in mind is what kind of entity are you going to form. You need to know what kind of entity you are going to form. Are you going to form, an LLC, or are you going to form a corporation? Okay. One of my favorite, websites is this. Okay. So nobody, teaches you this deep, risking their practice, but I love my students to prosper. Okay. Now, this is a very beautiful website. Okay. Anyway, we are not connected to Matt Horwitz in any way. Okay, he's the founder of this university, but very good, website to form the LLC. Okay, so supposing you want to form an LLC in Delaware state. Okay, you got to select the state in which you want to form the LLC. Okay, now it's a step-by-step guide. Now, starting a Delaware LLC costs $90. It takes 10 days. Okay. Now, here are the 6 steps that you must keep in mind, when forming an LLC. What is that? First one, choose an LLC name. iLead Tax LLC. Don't select that. Okay. Choose an LLC name. Next, select a registered agent. Registered agent is somebody who will collect information on behalf of the, you know, company. On behalf of the company, and most of the time, it is the owner only. Most of the time it is the owner only. Okay, now if you are a non-US resident, you know how to form the business and all. You have something called as doula. Okay. Doula. In Telugu it's a very funny word, doula. Anyways, so choose an LLC name, select a registered agent. It means, somebody who is authorized to receive, the information on behalf of the company. Next, file a certificate of formation. You have to fill, an application form, a business formation form, and give the articles of, organization, or articles of incorporation if it is a corporation, articles of formation if it is an LLC. Okay. And then create an operating agreement. It means, something based on which you are, the agreement, the internal agreement. Anyways, this is for internal purposes only, but every business should have an operating agreement. What are the terms and conditions on which, you are doing this business? Okay. Next one, get an EIN. We have seen in the last class, in the very first class, what is an EIN, how to apply for an EIN and all. Employer identification number, and if needed, get a business license. Okay. Now, let's see, for Delaware state. For all other states, you can just scroll down and then you can check for yourself. Now, if you want to form your LLC yourself, okay, follow this. If you want someone to take care of it, we recommend hiring, Northwest registered agent. So it's, somebody else who form the business for you. Okay, legal Zoom and then Northwest also. Okay. Now, how much does it take to start a LLC in Delaware? Okay, so $90. Okay, and it costs $300 per year. So what happens is, when you are filing the when you are forming, the LLC and all, every state will have, something called as charter fees. Okay, charter fees. Every state will have something called as state filing fees, or then charter fees. So you have to pay that. That filing fees is this $90. Getting it? We studied this, in EA Part 2 initial classes. Next one, an entity is a going concern, right? We have to show that, entity is on, alive, going on, right? Now, for that to happen, you have to file something called as this annual, um, franchise tax report. Annual franchise tax report. So that's very important. And that will cost you $300 per year. Annual franchise tax report. Some states call it as annual information report, whatever, just to show that, yeah, LLC is in good standing, it is open and all. Okay, so these two are mandatory. So when you're forming the company, certificate of formation, every year annual franchise tax report. Getting it? Okay, shall we parallelly try to write the notes? Okay, no. We discussed about steps to follow when forming business entity. Okay, and we referred llcuniversity.com. Okay, it's a very good website, so I very much love to present you these things. Now, then how long does it take? How long does it take to get an LLC? Okay, 10 business days. Online it takes 10 business days. Now search your LLC name. Now you cannot say iLead Tax LLC and then open a company. You cannot say Infosys, technologies and all, because that company name is already there. Okay, so there is a name availability search, so you can click on this, check for that name, and if that name already exists, don't take that. Sometimes the company may be no longer existing because of some fraudulent activities also by their company directors. So don't think that now that the company's name is inactive, let me take that. Why have some name of a company which had a bad history? Okay, come up with some new name. Then choose a Delaware registered agent. Okay, so first one is search your LLC name, right? Ensure you don't keep uh, a name that is already taken. Okay, so search for your LLC name. That's the step one. Okay, first point is that. Next, you need to do this because two businesses in the state can have the same name, and search your business name and compare it to existing businesses in Delaware. You can make sure the LLC name you want is unique from existing business using the division of corporations. Familiarize yourself with the naming rules in Delaware. So your Delaware LLC gets approved. We will explain more detail. Okay, then next one, choose a Delaware registered agent. Okay, so next one is choose a registered agent. Now here it's written. Is a registered agent is a person or company who accepts legal mail and state notices on behalf of your Delaware LLC. Now, who can be a registered agent? You, your friend or family member, or a registered agent service. Supposing you are not in US, you want to start a business, so you need somebody who can receive this information on your behalf, right? You can receive the information on your behalf and you can let you know. Okay, and Delaware requires LLC registered agents to have a physical street address and no PO boxes. Getting PO boxes aren't allowed. Next, and the registered agent's name and addresses will be listed on public records. Public records. If you don't have an address in Delaware or you want more privacy, you can hire a registered agent service for your LLC. So if you are somebody outside of US and you don't have anybody in the US to help you, or even if you have, they do not have the heart to help you, look for a registered agent service. Every year they may charge you around $150 to $200, and that is good to go. Okay, next, we recommend Northwest registered agent, our favorite feature about Northwest is they'll let you use their office address, and things like that. So this is more about the company. So anyways, we are not advocating about the company and all. We are just trying to understand the steps in forming the LLC. Okay, in forming a business. Next one, file Delaware LLC certificate of formation. So step 3 is certificate file for certificate of formation. Now, what is this? This gets filed with the Delaware Division of Corporations, and like what we said, $90 when you're filing it. And again, here you can either file this yourself. Okay, you can go to the Delaware state and then create a login there and then try to file it yourself, or you can hire somebody like us, iLead Tax LLC. As you know, I have two businesses, iLead Tax Academy.in and iLeadTax.com. So one is a institution, educational institution and academy that is focused on creating employment opportunities and fulfilling entrepreneurial ambitions. That is academy. And then the second one is iLead Tax LLC, which is into serving the USA tax, accounting, payroll, bookkeeping needs of individuals and small business owners in the USA. Anybody who has a US business, they're welcome to have our services. Next one, create a Delaware operating agreement. Okay, and then there are other service providers also. You have Northwest, you have LegalZoom also, and then the author is telling you which one is best. You please check out. Next, create an LLC operating agreement. Okay, create an operating agreement. I mean, on what conditions are you operating this business? Okay, operating agreement serves as a companion document to the certificate of formation. A certificate of formation creates your LLC, and the operating agreement shows who owns the LLC. Additionally, some banks require an operating agreement when you open an LLC bank account, and having an operating agreement will be helpful if you ever end up in court, because when the money is small, the ambitions are more, the passion is more. But when the money is more, then the profit sharing is more. People tend to fight for that. The reason being, it helps prove that your LLC is being run properly. That's why we recommend that all LLCs have an operating agreement, including single member LLCs. Further, an operating agreement is an internal document, meaning you don't need to file it with the state or the IRS. Just keep a copy with your business records. Operating agreement. Okay, and this is how an operating agreement will also look like. Let me see if I can get it for you. Okay, and again, as you know, there are two types of management. One is a member managed and the other one is manager managed. It means your member managed is like the owners, they themselves manage it. Okay, now the manager managed is they appoint a manager and then he manages the LLC. Okay, but majority it will be member managed only. Next, get an EIN for your LLC. Okay, get an EIN for your LLC. Get an EIN, employer identification number, through form SS4 IRS website. We saw that. Why you need this EIN number? Okay, it is used to identify your LLC for tax purposes, just like how you have a SSN or ITIN, and when you're writing EA or signing the tax returns, you have PTIN. Similarly, for your LLC also, you need to have an identification number. Any business entity will have an identification number. Next, open a business bank account, apply for business licenses and permits. Getting it? Next, how much does an EIN cost? Getting an EIN number from the IRS is completely free. Okay, see, when you're hiring an accountant, he will definitely charge you for the time that he's investing. If it is free, he'll tell you, please go do it yourself. But if you're coming to me and seeking my expertise and holding me responsible, then pay for me. Pay for my service, right? How long does it take to get an EIN? 15 minutes when you apply online. And when you get it by mail or fax, it can take 1 to 3 months. Now, sir, why would anybody do that? Even I don't know. Next, how can I get an how can I get an EIN? US citizens or US residents, if you have SSN or ITIN, you can apply for an EIN online. Okay, follow these instructions. Okay, apply for an EIN online. I think I've shown you in the last class how to apply for the EIN. Now, non-US residents, you can't get an EIN online, but you can still get one by fax or mail. Follow these instructions. No, even they can get it by they can get it online. Okay. Next, Delaware business licenses and permit. Get business license and permits. Get business license and necessary permits. Now, what is that? All LLCs in Delaware are required to get a general business license from Delaware Division of Corporation. And depending on where your LLC is located, you may need a local business license or permit. If you want to start a daycare, you may need to have a business license from city or county. Okay, there's a business license page. You can check. What to do after my LLC is approved? Now, after your LLC is approved, there are some additional steps. File your Delaware LLC annual franchise tax report. Okay. Now, after your LLC is approved, file your annual information report. We call it as AIR. Okay. Or annual franchise tax report. This is there for every state. Okay, this is not just for Delaware. Delaware is just one state that we have picked as an example. Okay, annual information report or annual franchise tax report. Next, all Delaware LLCs must file an annual franchise tax report every year. The annual franchise tax report keeps your LLC in good standing with the state. How much does a Delaware LLC franchise tax report cost? It's $300 per year. Every state will have its own thing. Okay, next, and it's a deadline. You got to know the deadline by which when you have to file. For every year you have to file this. Okay, and when is your first report due? Is due the year after your LLC was created. Okay, so if your LLC was created on March 15, 2024, your first annual franchise tax is due by the next year. June 1st of 2025, you have to file that. Next, how do I file my LLC franchise tax report? Now here, file your annual franchise tax report and pay annual franchise tax applicable annual franchise tax. It may change from year to year and or from state to state also. Okay, next, open a LLC bank account. Okay, this has to be done first. Actually, after your we can say that. Open a bank account. Once LLC is approved, open a bank account. Then this makes accounting and record keeping much easier for your business finances. Having a separate business bank account also maintains your personal liability protection. This will keep your business finances separate from your personal finances. Open a bank account in the name of your LLC. Okay, maintain separate books of account for your LLC transactions. Okay, don't mix up personal and then professional. Next, having a separate business account also maintain. Okay, next, file and pay taxes. LLCs don't pay federal tax. Instead, the LLC members pay the taxes for the LLC. Said another way, the owners pay the tax for the LLC as part of their personal. He's talking about a pass-through entity. Now, how will my LLC be taxed? Delaware LLC is taxed by the IRS based on the number of owners your LLC has. A single member LLC is taxed like a sole proprietorship. A multiple member LLC is taxed like a partnership. Now, alternatively, you can ask the IRS to tax your LLC like a C corporation or a S corporation. You can ask the IRS to tax your LLC like a C corporation or S corporation. Oh, is it? Yeah, we just read that, right? We just read that. Make those elections applicable elections. I mean, the very first page, what we saw that 83, 88, 32, right? I often get confused with the, what is that? Non-cash contributions, 8283. Okay. Now, I have to remember 83 comes in the middle. Yeah. 82, 83 is for that. 83 comes in the middle. That's all. Okay. So 83, 88, 32 it's for making an election for C corporation. 2553 is for making election for small business corporation. Okay. Next. Then can I start an LLC online in Delaware? Yes. What are the benefits of an LLC? These things, we have studied already, right? I mean, the limited liability protection is the main thing. And then it's a pass-through entity. Is Delaware a good state to start? Yeah. Whether it's a state, good state, depends on where you live. See, most of the time it is good if you start LLC in the place where you are living. In case you are living outside the US, then you have to think, which state is good for you. Okay. Let's see what this author says here. Whether Delaware is a good state to start an LLC depends on where you live and where you are doing business. Okay. Meanwhile, if you live in or do business in Delaware, then you should start your LLC in Delaware. While many websites talk about tax rates and advantages of certain states, none of that applies if it's not the state where you live and do business. Example, if you form an LLC in Delaware but live in and conduct business in Maryland, you will also need to register your Delaware LLC in Maryland and pay extra fees, and you will end up paying Maryland taxes anyway. This ends up leading to more costs and more headaches with no advantages. In summary, if you live in and conduct business in Delaware, then yes, Delaware is a good state to start a business. If you don't live in and do business in Delaware, then no, Delaware isn't a good state to start a business. Getting it? So, and see here, people who want to start real estate LLC. If you are purchasing real estate outside of Delaware, then you should form LLC in the state where the property is located. Okay. Many people are misguided here. So, this is how it is. Okay. So then you can read the comments and all. So these are the 6 things that you got to keep in mind when you're forming an LLC. First decide different what is the type of entity that you want to find. Decide the type of entity you want to form. Okay. Then check out if you have to apply for a business entity election or S corp election. Okay, this is 2553. Yeah, the test comes again. 883. I told you, I remember now. Okay, 8832. Okay, so different types of business entities. First, decide what type of entity you have to form. Then steps to follow when forming business entity. Then after your LLC is approved, what is that you got to do? Pay applicable annual franchise tax. Okay, now maintain separate books of accounts. Okay, and then pay your estimated taxes within the deadlines. You got to pay the estimated taxes within your deadlines. Next, pay your payroll taxes. All those federal tax, all the W2 tax items, tax withholdings. Okay, all the W2 tax withholdings, W2 or 1099 tax holdings every month. Okay, yeah. Then file payroll tax returns. Now this also quarterly or annually. file your payroll tax returns also quarterly or annually, and some monthly. Then file your business tax returns by deadline. Now March 15th for SPL, we told about that, special, right? S corporation, partnerships, and then LLC with multiple members. And then April 15th. April 15th for individuals or C corporations, right? And file your annual information report, pay applicable annual franchise tax. These are just some of the things, okay? So when you are doing a business tax return, and things like that, you're forming a business, these are definitely, the things that you got to keep in your mind. Getting it? These are definitely the things that you got to keep in your mind. Fine. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Okay. In the meantime, let's also take a look at the other pages that we have opened. Dula. Okay. In case you're opening you're outside of US, and you want to form a company or something like that, so you can try this. You can just go through this. Okay, so they give you different kinds of services here, and they compare it with other service provider. Also they give you US business formation, okay, EIN operating agreement, registered agent for 1 year, then mailing address. That's how it is. Legal Zoom and all is very expensive. Then mm, then they have Strip Atlas. All these are different service providers. Stripe Atlas, Zen Business, First Base, Northwest, INC File, Clerky, Corpnet, all these things. You can check yourself, because a lot of people, they ask me, sir, I want to start a company, and things like that. Now that you are studying all this, you can very much do it yourself, and you can also check, the rates that these people are charging, and you can compare with iLead Tax LLC also, and whatever is best for you, go with that. Okay. These are all the services they provide: name availability, top priority filing, LLC operating agreement, business credit card, EIN from IRS, US business bank account, Stripe payment gateway, US mailing address, all these things. You have a very good AI based chat system also there, so you can check with them on that. Yeah. And they give you free registered agent service for 365 days, so you can check out on that. Then this is something, Northwest, it's a registered agent service. So in case there's no US address for the client, and client is looking for any service, they give virtual office address and things like that. Okay, so select the state where you want to form the LLC, get started. Okay, they may ask you to create a login account and things like that. So these are all the different services. Okay, LLC formation service, registered agent, lifetime customer support, free operating agreement, free annual report reminders. They will remind you. Online document dashboard, and things like that. Okay, so these are all the things. And then this is Legal Zoom website. Okay, about the Legal Zoom. So just take a look at that also. And this is how the state websites will look like. Okay, so you are looking for name search. So entity kind LLC, entity ending LLC, and then you say technology, and you have to write the code there. I think I missed that. So you got to give those file numbers and things like that. Okay, so you will be able to find the name search also there. Then how to file a certificate of formation, what is that? Then these are comparative notes, like LegalZoom is better or Northwest is better, but I think in Dula itself we have seen all that. So this shows off. um, then yeah, this is an example of an operating agreement. This is how an operating agreement will look like. Okay, operating agreement. And this you will also get it in the Word format also. For those of you who are watching, why did I pay so much money to that accounting firm for getting my business started? Come on, enroll for RTP, learn it and do it yourself. So all this, this will also give you an insight as to what are the terms and conditions that you must talk to your partner or your shareholders or members when you're starting a business entity also. Okay, so it'll be good for you to do this. Then the next one, member managed, and then manager managed LLC, what it is and things like that. Take a look at this, it'll be helpful to you. Okay, what is an LLC member? All these things, EA students. Okay, what is LLC manager? Management. Okay, because they are somebody who is responsible to make the legal decisions, financial decisions, sign the checks, enter into contracts and things like that. So that's how you get started. And even in case you have to go to a particular state, let's say Texas, in Texas state, you have to form an LLC. Texas State Board. It's franchise State Board of Taxation. Yeah, Texas Controller. This is the website. Texas Secretary of State. Okay. Now here you will have new business formation and things like that. Every state website is different. So starting a new business, you can read some articles about it, how to do that, and then they will give you a link where you can form the business and all. You can just get some insights about what are the tax benefits and things like that. Tax So this is a place wherein you can securely log in, create your account, and then do the filing activity and all. So unless you are somebody who understands taxes, or who is well versed with all these things, I don't recommend you doing it on your own. When you're doing it for the first time, please hire somebody who can help you. Okay, so you got to create a profile, and then once you create a profile, log into this, it'll ask you offer you different services, and then you can get started accordingly. Okay, the new business applications and things like that. Each state has its own rules and regulations. Form LLC in California, let's say. It'll show you all the registered agents, but here, yeah, now see, California Secretary of State. Okay, now you come to the California Secretary of State. Now here they have the forms directly, and many of the state websites, they have the chat support also. You can click and then take their suggestion, or they have their contact information also. You can contact them during so and so time, and they are wow on the phone. Okay, so they give you wonderful guidance also. Okay, now these are the forms, articles of organization. So you have to fill this articles of organization. So it'll tell you, business entities, free business search, register a business. Here, articles of organization. So what kind of corporation you want to file? Articles of organization, S corporation, non-profit corporation, limited partnership. So what kind of corporation you want to file? So let's say LLC. So file online. There it mentioned some $70 fees there. Okay, now here you got to sign up, just like in the other states. You got to sign up. It'll ask you for some information, and it'll be very, very easy. Okay, so if you are confident, you can do it all by yourself. Okay, this will be $70 when you're filing statement of organization. It is $70, and statement of information, so this is $20. um, in case you want to dissolve, see, when you're dissolving an LLC also, you will have to file the report. That's called certificate of dissolution, certificate of cancellation. Okay, and these are the forms that needs to be filed. And in case you have to convert LLC from S corp to LLC, or LLC to S corp, then there's a different form for that. Okay, now file for certificate of dissolution when closing the company. I'm just adding it. Only when closing the company. Not when, a shareholder has left or something like that. Okay? Only when closing the company, you got to do that. Getting it? So do the, same thing for other states also. I have shown you for California and then Texas. So just Google, form LLC in Hawaii. That's not a place. New Jersey. Okay. Now, don't go for all this sponsored and all. They're all Google ads. Okay. So don't go for that. Go to the state website. Okay. Go to the state website. State of New Jersey. It says State of New Jersey. So go to State of New Jersey, and then try to look out for the process there. State of New Jersey, NJ Department of Treasury. Okay, so this is starting a business. I'm starting a business. Okay. See how nicely it is. Wow, start, operate, and grow. This is something like my ISO. Okay, so create an account, create a business plan, choose a business structure, select a location. They're giving you steps here. Buy an existing business or franchise, finance your business support, licensing, and certification guide. So each state operates in a different way. So maybe if you have to learn more, I would encourage you to at your workplace, what are the states that you have these business owners from, or the clients from. Try to Google form LLC in so and so state. That's all. And then see, form S corporation in so and so state. S corporation, as is mainly for companies, for individuals who are US citizens, or lawful permanent residents, right? Green card holders. It is not for non-immigrant visa holders and all. Okay, so do well. Selecting a business type. Many states, they have wonderful content. You know, so reading that itself, will give you so much information. See how to choose a business structure. So it has given you sole proprietorship advantages, disadvantages. It looks like, intermediate first year become first year notes, right? General partnership, how it is, LLC, what are the advantages, disadvantages, C corporation, what are the advantages, disadvantages, corporation, non-profit organization, limited partnerships, B corporation, benefit corporation, and things like that. Okay, so take a look at all these things. You may learn something new also, right? I hope you enjoyed today's class, and most of it, this Word document also would be made available to you, in your login. But most of it we have covered it here only. Here they have given the example of a North Carolina state. So go to North Carolina state, download that state, LLC articles of organization form from the link, fill the form with necessary client details. After filling the form, we need to go to the concerned state portal and upload this form. And there will be given timeline as per the state by which you will get your LLC. So once you are into the state website, okay, state website, these are the fields, that will populate. These are the fields, right? Name of the LLC, address, name of that agent, the address. We have not given full address and all. So normally, the street, city, and the zip code has to come there. So we have just limited it like this, and this is how it will be. Fill your company name, name of LLC members, name of LLC member on whose name LLC will be registered. Then fill the mailing address of the LLC registered agent. Then, if different from the LLC's registration address, okay. Fill the principal office information, then date of filing these articles. It's all step by step. Okay, so this is about an LLC, right? Once you sign up and get into the portal, you will see it all yourself. Next, how to incorporate a corporation. How to incorporate a corporation. Click on the above link. Same NJ state. Yeah, we just saw NJ state. Fill in all the details in state business corporation and pay the relevant fees. After uploading the documents and paying the fees, you will get the certificate of incorporation within a short span of time, depending on the state. This is how it will be. Same. Select a business designator, give the address, and things like that. Register agent details, give your name. Now, next one, how to make an S corp election. We know this, right? Within 75 days, or along with the first year's tax return, you got to file that form 2553. Okay, it's more of theory. Okay, anyways, we have to file the 2553 within 75 days from the time the S corporation is created, LLC is created. We have to apply, and these are the addresses that is given. But on the form also you will have these things. You can take it from there. And federal election, state election, how to do that. This is our 2553 form looks like, right? This is how it looks like, how to fill the form. Company, calendar year, name of that officer who is applying for it, the name of the members, steps to fill the form 2553, all those. Okay, you can just take a look at this. Okay, so don't ask for downloadable copy and all. Okay, this will go like a good morning message. Okay, good morning gospel note. Okay, if you have patience, please make notes. Okay, and you can see it very much. Okay, next, and once your 2553 is confirmed, you will get a letter from the IRS. Okay, letter from the IRS stating that you will be treating as an S corporation starting so and so. This is how it will look like. Then how to make a C corporation election, form 8832. I'm not going much into the theory because we studied all of that in our EA also. So if you are making a S corporation subchapter yes election, then file 2553. No, you have to file 8832, right? Next, where to file, and how to file, when to file and all. Normally, with the tax return you can do it, or outside of the tax return also, directly go to the state website and then do that also. Many tax softwares, they facilitate filing 2553 and then 8832 also. Directly from the tax software you can file. So Drake also provides for that, ProConnect provides for that, CCS provides for that. So you can check on that. Okay, all these are just forms which are copy pasted, so not much to learn. The main steps you have learned it there only. These are all form filling, and I'm sure you can do it in a much better way. Okay, how to apply for EIN? I told you we have to do it from the IRS website, and we have seen it in the last class also, how to apply for the EIN. And this is how a sample EIN copy will look like. Okay, just like how we have SSN and ITIN for individuals, similarly for business entities you will have EIN, employer identification number. Okay, that's how a business entity is identified. And just like this LLC university, these are some other websites which I encourage you to go through and then take a look. It'll give you more information. Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's class. It was more about forming the business entity and all. You will truly love this once you get into the state website and start doing the business formation yourself. You will see there's so much money out here. You can advise clients who are on 1099 to form a business entity, and that is a good service that you can incorporate, that you can bring in your company also, and that could be an additional revenue making opportunity for your company also. RTP, right? Real time tax preparation training. You got to make revenues. Be an asset for your company, don't be a liability. Just because they have hired you for a fixed salary, you also please don't stick to a fixed revenue. Think how you can make more money, how you can create more jobs at your workplace. You got to be the star that must be shining at your workplace. Yeah, I love you very, very much. Okay, can't wait to see you in the next class. Take care, and I'll see you soon in the next class. And don't forget what all we have learned today. Make sure that those learnings from the rich dad, you implement it at your workplace. Yeah, take care and God bless you. Love you all.